And welcome back to CBS 5. We are continuing our breaking news coverage of this explosion and fire in San Bruno. It started this evening at around 6:15. A fireball of an explosion. It was a pressured gas line. PG&E is now taking credit for that gas line, taking responsibility for that gas line exploding. 53 homes have been completely destroyed, 120 homes damaged. There has been one fatality that we know of at this point here at 10:30 this evening, and roughly 20 victims who are hospitalized with burns of varying degrees. We have several shelters that we'd like to give you information on. There are 2 shelters available for the people of San Bruno. If you're looking for your loved ones, or if you're in need or would like to take anything to the people who are in need at those shelters, there's one at the Church of the Highland at 1999 Earl Avenue and the San Bruno Veterans Rec Center at 251 City Parkway.
We want to check in now with Len Ramirez, who's standing by on the perimeter of this fire and has some new information for us. Len?
That's right, Ken. I'm joined by State Senator Leland Yee, who represents this district. First of all, thanks for being here and showing up and showing that you care. Tell us what you've seen so far and what can the state do at this point.
Well, the state has declared this area a state of emergency, and what that means is an array of assets are now being deployed. We've got air tankers, we've got helicopters, we've got trucks up there. The cause of this is because of a break in a gas main. It has also compromised the water main up there, and as a result, we've had to now cart up water to fight this particular fire. Fortunately, we've got about 50% contained. It's not over yet. So we've got a long night ahead of us.
What's causing the water breakage, the water main breakage?
Well, because of the explosion with the gas main, it then compromised the water main, and so as a result, the water pressure is just not high enough, and as a result, we've had to then just truck water up there to fight this particular fire.
This will be an ongoing need this is just the beginning of what was going to be a very long situation. Is the state prepared to continue to help some of the folks out here, and what can they do long term for these folks?
Well, absolutely. I mean, the fact that we have now declared this a state of emergency, down the road, as this community rebuild, money will then be made available to help with that particular rebuilding. In addition, if there are additional dollars that are needed, then I'm prepared to get legislation to bring those additional dollars. After the fire is put out, you're going to find a lot of individuals who are going to be absolutely distressed about the loss that they've had and all the emotional and physical pain that they're going through. We've got to deal with that too.
Senator, we don't know exactly what happened here. There's been a lot of talk about a PG&E pressurized gas main breaking and causing this explosion. What can the state do in terms of, putting the pressure to investigate and find out what happens, and then reparations if they're warranted?
Well, we're absolutely committed to finding the exact cause of it, because it's the only way in which we're going to then be able to prevent any further problems or future problems. So, we're determined, the state is determined most definitely to find the root cause of this, and we'll go from there. And then those individuals who contributed to this disaster, they will in fact be held accountable, and we will then be looking to them to help pay for some of these activities that we're engaged in right now.
You've represented this area for a long time in a personal way. What's this like to see your constituents out here on the street?
Well, it's a pretty sad state for all of us. I've got friends up there. I've called them. They have not called me back. So it's not only because I'm a state legislator, but also because I'm an individual just like everyone else who have friends and family. And so it does break my heart when any disaster happens and you're dislocated like that. It's just devastating for everyone.
State Senator Leland Lee, thank you for being here. Thank you very much. What we were hearing is some of those stories that the senator was just talking about. I interviewed a man earlier tonight, Ken, who said that immediately after this happened in the neighborhood, he was right up in there when this had happened, and that people were kind of calling names out in the streets, and it was just kind of this eerie sense of the fire roaring and people calling out names, as the sun was setting and the smoke was filling the streets. Just a harrowing experience for anyone involved in this tonight.
Yeah, Len, I think when the story is finally told, and we've heard some tonight, we'll hear more tomorrow and through the weekend and into next week even of probably, real acts of heroism, people going door to door to check on their neighbors or get them out. We haven't heard a lot of that now, but we're going to hear that because that's how it's done. You call 911 and they come, but it's you helping your neighbor that really makes a difference in these kinds of emergencies. And we've seen this before, most probably recently, a disaster this big in the Bay Area, the Loma Prieta earthquake, where people helped each other. And that's exactly what we're going to hear in the next couple of days. I'm confident of it.
Exactly right. It takes a while for responders to reach the scene. And as that man was saying, there were people kind of going door to door, calling out names, trying to find out if people were okay. There's all sorts of stories that we're going to be hearing about those types of situations. Hopefully some rescues, some good news coming out of this. But I have to tell you that, when I first saw this, I was at my home in San Jose, and I saw those Chopper 5 pictures, and the first thing I could think of, seeing it like that on TV is, what about those people in those homes? I mean, there was, you could see the living rooms basically up in flames, and you just have to think that, it's 6 o'clock and people are, getting ready for the football game, or they're making dinner, or they're making preparations, kids doing homework, things like that. It makes you heartsick when you really start to think about what may have happened here.
It's really, really worrisome too, Len. There are a lot of cars parked on that street still, a lot of cars in driveways, and I think that's part of this story that will unfold in the next few days.
Absolutely. Right. All right, Len Ramirez, thank you. And interesting how quickly the state government has responded. Leland Yee, State Assembly member, declaring this a state of emergency, which will provide assistance, both financial and otherwise, for families who have lost everything. The latest report is that 53 homes are destroyed, wiped out, disintegrated. 120 homes damaged. To what extent, runs the gamut. And yet this fire is only 50% contained at this hour. It's been going on since 6:15, 6:30 this evening. And so we are well into this firefight, and it is a battle on the ground. The firefighters from all over the Bay Area are operating and will continue to be there late into the evening and tomorrow, as long as it takes to put this thing out.
Yeah, well, it's good to see the state step in. I mean, that's their responsibility. And how many times have we seen fires in Los Angeles and Malibu and San Diego where, the resources come pouring in? And, Northern California is no different. We're all one state. And so that's their responsibility to come in and provide aid. And what's important about that is that, they will be able to help homeowners who maybe, didn't have adequate fire insurance. They'll be able to come in with special programs, whether it's FEMA or, something on the state level, to help people out, to help them recover all their possessions and automobiles and things like that are completely destroyed. And the one gentleman telling us, just still raises the hair on the back of my neck, of his dad, having just enough time to run into the garage, start the car, drive it out, and head down the street. And even at that speed, the back of the car was melted. It gives you some indication of the intense heat was being thrown off of that rupture site when that gas ignited. This is amazing. Right.
Now, I want to just clarify for our viewers at this point, the video that you're seeing, our chopper is back up in the air, and so these are live pictures, but we keep going back and forth between live and tape. But this is live, and as you can see, that these are the homes that are destroyed, many of them completely.
All right, back to our reporters on the ground, because they're really picking up the story in the next phase now, and that's recovery and helping people out. And Kit Doe is standing by with that part. Kit?
Ken, I want to take you on a tour here of 251 Park City Way, or should I say a City Parkway. This is one of 2 Red Cross shelters that are out here that people can stay here overnight if they need to. This right here is a physical manifestation of the kindness and warmth and generosity of people here in San Bruno. People bringing by blankets, jackets, food, toys for children, pillows as well. This room here is where people first go to check in and sign in. And then just beyond here, you're seeing a lot of these people here are volunteers. And just around the corner here is a space for spontaneous volunteers. And right now, I can tell you there are many more volunteers than there are evacuees at this point. They're guesstimating anywhere from 20 to 100 might show up here tonight. But we did speak with one family. They were told by the sheriff's department to get out of their home. We've got some of that videotape now. You scared? You scared, worried?
No, I was scared at first, yes. We were very scared, but anyway, after we sort of found out what was going on, we had left the house before. We just drove away because we didn't know what was going on. We just drove out of the area, and then we returned.
Do you think your house is going to survive?
Yes. I think we further away, but for caution, we decided we'll leave because the sheriff had called us and asked us to evacuate.
Excellent. And so at one point, all the evacuees were gathered in one room, very somber mood inside that room as they were debriefed and given an orientation. But again, it's amazing. People are showing up with cases of water. I mean, Jim, if you can walk over this way, these guys are carrying in water, toilet paper, chips, pizza. It's just amazing. The goods just keep pouring right on in here. So a lot of warmth and kindness out here at this particular Red Cross shelter at 251 City Parkway.
Well, you can always count on it, can't you? People do the right thing.
Yep.
It's really heartwarming to see.
There it is right there. You know, anytime you doubt that your fellow man, at least here in the Bay Area, is willing to lend a hand, to remember that picture. I mean, these are people that came out of nowhere. They're bringing things in because they think it's, you know, it's the right thing to do. And there's more that you can do, actually. The blood centers are going to be needing blood for many of the injured. And that website is completely inundated tonight. You simply cannot log on to make an appointment to have blood taken. I'm going to give it to you anyway, but just take it for what it is and write it down. bloodcenters.org. It's all one word, bloodcenters.org. We'll take blood donations beginning tomorrow at any one of a number of hospitals. You could probably walk into any hospital in the Bay Area and get information on where you can donate blood or call them. There is a number, 888-393-GIVE, GIVE, and they will direct you on how to do that. They're asking for O negative. There are a number of injured people. We had a police officer shot in the line of duty recently, and that and ensuing surgeries took over 100 pints of blood for one individual. So you get an idea how much this is necessary, and they're asking for the public's help in that. So if you can give blood, do it. Find a way to get down to a blood center. You can log on there, and they'll give you locations, or call the number, and they can get you pointed in the right direction. They would definitely appreciate it.
And I think it's important to remember that it's not just tomorrow and the next day. The people who are in need now, both for physical things as well as emotional support, and it's not going to end when we stop telling this story. Yeah. There will always be a need for, especially the burn victims, of which there are, as far as we know, at least 20 in various hospitals, Kaiser, San Francisco General, St. Francis Memorial.
You never know whose name is going to pop up, but we had a report come in that Pablo Sandoval has a house in that area that he got for his mom, right in that neighborhood. And we got a report that she was evacuated. She is okay. I believe he's playing ball tonight, so he's probably relieved to know that his mom's okay.
Right.
She got out. Don't know about the house, but she's safe and sound. So there you go.
These are live pictures. Again, there are obviously hot spots, and they're going to have to let them burn down as long as that fire doesn't move beyond that perimeter set up by the fire trucks. And as you can see, if you've been watching for any length of time this evening, this fire has grown, and now it's receded. It's not out yet, and it won't be out for a while, but they are there waiting and watching it, keeping an eye on it so it doesn't spread.
Okay, I mentioned blood donations a moment ago. We're going to throw it up there on the screen. That's the number you can call. You can't give blood tonight. They're just not equipped to do it. It's just not possible. This kind of hit them all at once. So that's the number to call to find out where you can give blood. And they will begin taking blood donations tomorrow.